how to write a Docker compose and how to deal with the Docker files. Okay, so far what we have did so far is, so we have created a container based upon the base images. So here we have so far discussed about how to build a Docker images based, how to build a Docker images. This is the agenda. Building a Docker image using the Docker file. Using a Docker file. Okay, so in advanced stages, we will be going up with a Docker compose. If you want to combine multiple services running in different containers to form a single network, okay, we use this Docker compose. So for all this activity, for each and every container, we need a separate Docker files. Okay, what's the use of this Docker file? So earlier what we did, we saw building our own images via container. So we have downloaded the base image from this Docker repository into our local repository. Based upon the image, we build a container and we connect with this container and do the needed thing. So here, how we made a activity to happen. So you want to pull the image and you want to use this Docker create image command to create a container out of this image, and we will be connecting by using -it. So here, if you want to do all the activity through a file, so here we can make use of a file by name, a Docker file. The file using this Docker file is very simple, and in real time we make use of this Docker file for building a particular application. What is a Docker file? A Docker file is nothing but a text format file. Okay, here it contains a sequence of instructions that is needed to build the image. So for example, here in this case, download the particular image. You want to specify the base image. Then you want to issue what are all the sequence of actions that we need to do. For example, if you want to build a web server, download this Ubuntu base image, and then we instruct to install HTTPD web server. Then we instruct to start the services, start HTTPD. So to make, if we want to display the web page with our own content, you can create an index.html file under the same directory where you have Docker file. And you can use a copy command to copy the current index.html file to a particular location, such as where www.html, and you can instruct to open a web browser to display the updated index.html file. Like what are the sequence of activity, you want to create a Docker file and you want to specify the sequence of activity in the Docker file, and the Docker file will do all the process associated with this particular activity on behalf of us. You can make use of the concept behind using this Docker file is reusability. If you want to do a task in a repeated manner, you create this sequence of actions that we need to do on a Docker file. Whenever you need, you can invoke and execute the Docker file. Docker file will create a container on behalf of what it is specified in the Docker file. Okay, this is very simple. So here, so a Docker file can be considered as normal text file. Okay, so here this text file contains a sequence of instructions that is used to assemble an image. Okay, so for writing certain sequence of instructions, okay, we make use of some basic commands. Here the Docker, what it will do, it will build the images by automatically by reading the instructions from Docker file one by one. Okay, then for this we use this Docker build command. So here what we need to do first here is, you want to create a project directory. As I told, so for example, you want to create a project directory under which you are going to execute. Under the project directory, you want to create a file by name Docker file. Okay, name of the file itself a Docker file. But the Docker file will contain all the needed informations. Then laterly, this is step 1, and this you want to create a Docker file that contains the needed information. And step 3, you can make use of a Docker build command. So to build the image according to the instructions that you have given in the Docker file. By default, the Docker file need to be by default placed in the project directory. We are going to execute this Docker build command. So the Docker build command will look for Docker file in the current project directory where that you are currently working with. If you have, that is by default. It can't be overridden. If you have Docker file in another location, then if you want to issue a Docker build, you need to specify an option -f while issuing this Docker build. You need to specify an option -f, and you want to specify the file path where you have the Docker file. So these are all the way by which if you don't have your Docker file into the project directory, you need to go up with the option F. Okay. So the instructions that we are not going to make use of in the Docker file, we are going to discuss about a lot of instructions. So let I know basic step by step what are all the instructions that we are going to make use of it. Then what is the purpose of each and every instruction. Okay, so first thing, it is not a case sensitive. It is not a case sensitive. You can either use a lowercase or uppercase, but the recommendation, the best practice is for each and every command to differentiate the command and the associated instruction. Here each instruction is represented using a uppercase, even though it is not a mandatory. Please make a note. Even though it is not a mandatory, it is a best practice to represent this instruction in uppercase. Docker will run the instructions of the Docker file in the top to bottom order. Okay, one by one in a sequential order. So by usual, any Docker file starts with a first instruction from. Okay, what's the use of from? The from specifies the base Docker image. Base Docker image. For example, if I am interested to build an application using Ubuntu, I need to specify from Ubuntu along with this tag latest, or I need to have a particular ID instance from Ubuntu. The tag name I need to specify. This is my image name followed with the tag name is need to be specified. That is the use of this from. Okay, so here the instruction is the purpose is to set the base image for the subsequent instructions that is going to apply on. Okay, this is the first line of a Docker file. Then you can assign a label. So some other commands. Let me discuss about commands like how to. What is the purpose of going for run? What is the purpose of going for label? What is the purpose of going for command, etc., etc. We have a lot of commands. We will explore one by one. This is our first command. Okay. The next command, we can add labels to the images. Okay, to organize the images of our products. So how to add a label? Okay, for that we need to make use of a command instruction called label. Okay, so here you can specify a developer name is equal to label, a project name is equal to, like you can specify multiple labels. Okay, so developer name is equal to Raman. Okay, a project name is equal to web application, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the way by which we can add a label to the images, which is nothing but similar to attaching a tag to our instance in AWS EC2. Okay, so the reason behind adding this label is to organize the images in the project so that we can have a clear identification of what is what. Okay, so these are all the ways by which we can add a label. The next command, I need to specify the organizer of the particular project. Okay, who is responsible for managing. So for that, what I need to do, I need to make use of another command called maintainer. Maintainer of who is responsible for maintainer of the particular Docker file, which is going to produce the applications. Okay, I can make use of another label, maintainer, GS Raman. I can specify email of GS Raman. Email Raman Sriranga, etc. Okay, so this is the way by which we can specify the maintainer command. The maintainer command by default will tell us who is the author of the generated image. What is the main purpose of going for this Docker file? You want to create an image, then what are all the instructions and what is the base you need to specify in the Docker file. So who is responsible for creation of the image need to be represented by the maintainer. Okay, who is the author of the generated image? Then we have another command. From command is the base command. Label is used to attach. Then we have another commands like if you want to execute any command, then you need to issue this command. Okay, so the syntax for the command here similar to that of command. What we can do, we can use other also. If you want to run if you want to run a single command, you need to use command. If you want to run an application, what you need to do, you want to issue a run. Run is the another command. Please make a note. Apart from this, you have another thing. Command is used to execute a single instructions. If you want to invoke an application, run is used to invoke an application. Okay. Then we have another commands. We have another command called entry point. You just make a note of this command. We have another command called work directory. To move into the present working directory. To move into the current working directory, you can insert by using work directory. While we are creating a project, it will be clear where and when we want to use those things. Okay, entry point. Entry point is used to represent the entry point of your application. For example, so in our if you have configured Java, then under the location where Java compiler is loaded, you need to move into the location. Example, Java is configured under the home. So sorry, under where under where you have configured this JDK 1.7, under which under the bin folder you find the Java C. So the entry point that you need to specify is before executing this Java compiler, the program name .java. What you need to do, you want to move to the location. Let me imagine that the entry point is the folder where you need to move into. By using CD, we will be moving into a appropriate folder. We can specify that in this end point. So when you run an application, okay, here where you need to log in to execute a particular command, that thing need to be specified in the entry point. Okay, so you can also specify the volume. We have discussed about this volume. You can also specify this environment. These are all some basic commands. Okay, let me discuss all these commands one by one. These are all some basic commands. Let me discuss all these commands one by one. Okay, so run command is used to execute any command on the current image. Okay, so run is generally used to invoke an application. Sorry, run is used to run a command. Sorry, wrongly had. Then this particular command is used to execute an application. To execute an application, we use this command. Please make a note difference. The default format of using this command is you need to specify command, then you need to specify a brace, and you want to specify the executable. If you want to apply any parameter, you need to specify the parameter 1 followed with parameter 2, etc., etc. Okay, so here for example you are going to execute a ls command, then you need to specify command ls. So you need to specify ls-al. Here ls is the command, the parameter is -al is the parameter. So here where you want to going for execute this ls, under home, under Ubuntu, you want to execute this ls command. Therefore under the entry point you can specify entry point /home/Ubuntu. So these are all the ways by which you can make use of it. Then another we have a copy command, run entry point. These are all the most frequently used. work directory, we have another command called copy command. This is used to copy a file or directory from the source location into the container's target location. Okay, so here another command, work directory, is used to set the work directory. If you are going to use a run command or copy, if you are going to use a run or a copy or a command, all these need to specify a work directory. Okay, so here if work directory doesn't exist, now what we need to do, you want to specify a work directory followed with the location. For example, work directory, we are going for a web application instance, the work directory is /var /www/html. Under this work directory, you do all the activity. You issue a command, you issue a copy, you issue a run. So before that, you need to set the work directory. Okay, if you specify a work directory, if this work directory is present, then it will log in into the work directory and execute the following command. If not, it will create the work directory. So these are all the, so while we are working with some examples, you have a clear idea. Please just make a note today what we are going to do by using this Docker. So here all the things that we have specified is intention is to create a container, to create an image, not a container, to create an image based upon the sequence of instructions. Okay, so we have so far discussed about how to containerize a single service applications. If you want to containerize multiple services in a separate container, and if you want all the services need to communicate as a single entity. For example, if you consider a mean stack, if you consider a lamp, in this case you need to have a Linux, you need to have a Apache that need to configure, you need to have a MySQL database, you need to have a PHP applications. Okay, each and everything that you want to create a container for Linux with Apache, you need to create a container 2 for MySQL database, you need to create a container with PHP for user interface. So here similarly for min stack, if you are going up with this min stack, okay, so min stack what it is a MongoDB, a Node.js, AngularJS, and the Node.js applications. Okay, so if you want the database need to be in a separate container, and the AngularJS, the front end and the back end need to be okay, so stored in a separate container. But in this activity, all the containers need to have communication among each other. So how you can make this container to make communicate? For that, we make use of a concept called Docker Compose, okay, which is associated with this Docker files. Okay, so these are all here. How to create multiple containers using Dockerfile, and how a Docker Compose can be used to integrate all these things will be discussed later. So these are all the core two things associated with the Dockerfile. Okay, so here in this Docker Compose, what we are going to discuss is we host each and everything under a separate container, but under the same host. All the container will be under the same host, and let me make all the container to communicate with each other by exposing a port for each and every container. Here in this case, the Apache is working with one port, and MySQL will be working with one port, and Linux PHP is working with some port. So by making this container exposing to a particular port, we can make use of this port to in order to make communication among each other. Okay. So for this also we need to specify a Docker file. Okay, so here we have to write a separate Docker file for building the opposite container, and we also write a separate Docker Compose file. So first, and the Docker Compose file will do the actual work. What it will do? So it will invoke a different Docker files that we have specified for creation of each and every container, and make them to interact with each other. Okay, so these are all the ways by which you can make use of a Docker file and a Docker Compose in your real time to create an image and to work with these images. Okay, so let me first start with a simple example of how to create a Docker file and where to create a Docker file, how to make use of all the commands. Okay, so here first thing what you need to do, we want to imagine that currently you create a directory, make directory. Let me make this this is your current working directory, make directory images. Let me create a basic directory under which we are going to create a Docker file. Okay, this corresponds to the project's root folder. So you should have a Docker file by default under the project's root folder. Okay, so go on to the images and simply create a Docker file. VIM Docker file. The name of the file itself a Docker file. Please make a note. Okay, here Docker D should be a capital letter and all other things are small letter. This is the default name of the Docker file. Okay, so the Docker file can be in another location also apart from your present working directory. If that is the case, as I told, you need to specify a -f as option to specify the Docker file. Okay, let me create a first Docker file and specify the first command from. I'm going to create a image, that is the base image is BusyBox. Okay, BusyBox is one of the Linux variant. You can specify, if not BusyBox, Ubuntu. You can specify anything according to your need. Okay, next command I am going to issue is maintainer. It is not mandatory that it should be in capital letter. Even if it is in small, it works. We are creating in the Docker host machine. Okay, the purpose is, this is the EC2 instance. In this EC2 instance, we have configured this Docker server under the machine, host machine. Okay, it can be EC2 instance or it can be a host machine, physical machine. Under the host machine, you want to create. The purpose is to create a container. Why you need to go for this Docker file? So initially we use a basic image to create a container. But here, and we did some activity on top of connect with the container and did some activity. Here all the things can be automated using a Docker file. The Docker file need to be created on the host machine, not on the Docker container. Okay, so for the practice, let me create a directory, root directory called images, and let me create this first Docker file from busybox.latest. Let us specify the maintainer Raman. That's a simple Docker. Okay, you know what is a Docker image? Nothing but the series of layer by layer. Okay, for each and every activity, we need to specify a particular layer. A Docker image is a series of layers built on top of each other. Okay, so here we are starting from the layer 1 from command sets the base image for the rest of instructions. Here the maintainer command tells who is the generator of the images. Okay, so here let me start with the basic thing. So after that, what I need to do after creating the image, I need to build the image. The command to build the image is docker build -t. I need to specify the image name. This is the syntax. I need to specify the image name. I need to specify the location of the Docker file. Being the Docker file is in the same location, I specify dot here. If not, I need to specify a -option, the path of the Docker file. Okay. So in this example, the dot represents the current directory to look for the Docker file. So what happened here, when you issue this command, it will first download the image that you have specified in this from. It will download the BusyBox and it will create a container based upon the image. Okay, so here this is the way by which you can create a container based upon the base image and to connect with the container. Okay, here what are all the parameters that we have passed? We have passed two parameters here. One is -t, that is your image name. Okay, the second parameter is dot or -f, the location of the Docker file where we have created. In the Docker file only, we want to specify the sequence of instructions. Okay, this is the content of Docker file. Please make a note. So it is a mandatory. It is not mandatory. It is a best practice to have your Docker file into the same location where you are running the Docker build command. Okay. Then after that, if you make a check, Docker images, you can find an image under the name that you have assigned will be build. Okay. Let me do this practical so that you may have a clear understanding what we are going to do. Let I connect to my okay. Okay. So let I start this Docker machine. Okay. Now we have connected with the instance where we have configured Docker. Okay, so let we on Docker images we have this Ubuntu BusyBox and sent images. Okay, our present working directory is root. So let me create a folder by name cd. Let me move on to cd home Ubuntu. Let I create a project directory by name images. Okay, now once again we have only 3 images. Now we have created a root folder images. Let I move on to this images folder. Okay, so here what I need to do, I want to create a Docker file, Docker file. Okay, so here let I create a Docker file. Let I create a notepad so that it is easy for me to make a copy. Okay, first what we need to do, so the first command is from, I need to specify the base image. Let I make it as image by name BusyBox. To take this is my tag latest, so it will download the latest. Then second thing is maintainer. I need to specify a maintainer of the image. Maintainer Raman GS, that the maintainer email ID Raman Sriranga at gmail.com is the maintenance. This is a simple file. Okay, so let I create this file at this scratch level. Copy. Let I go here. Insert. Let I create a file from BusyBox. Escape colon W. Okay. So now I created a Docker file. Cat Docker file containing only the two things. Okay, from instruct where to get this base image, and maintainer specifies who is going to maintain the image. Okay, these are all the two commands that we have issued. So how to build this? Okay, so here let I build it. Before that we have only, as I told, we have only Docker images, only 3 images. Let I build the image. The command is docker build. So I need to specify a tag for my image. Let I make it as Raman image. So to make it a Raman image, so my image is the latest image. I need to specify the location of the Docker file. The look for Docker file into the current working directory. Now you can find what happened. So it step 1, it instructed this step 1. Step 1, it downloaded the BusyBox. And then it get connected with this. You can find here it creates the maintainer of the particular image. Okay, and the intermediately the image was found to be built. Okay, so here how you can verify that it is successfully built. Okay, so here you can issue a Docker images tag. Docker images tag. So initially the Docker images tag containing only 3. Now we can find a new image has been built from the Docker. The Raman image has been built with the image ID. So with the size 1.15 MB created a minute ago. So how to connect with this image? To connect with the image, Docker run -it the image name. For example, Raman image. Okay, it will Docker run -it the image name. So it will connect with this image. You can find your present working directory is the root directory of your image. Now what you did, you create a container out of the base image. Then here the base image is specified in the Docker file. Based upon that, you created a container, and laterly using this Docker run -it, you have connected with this. So this is a way by which you create a simple container. Okay, so let I create another container. Okay, based upon the same Docker file. Using a single Docker file, you can create multiple containers as of what I am going to do, I am going to exhibit how to make use of a command. Okay, how to make use of a command. Let I add another line to this. Okay, so let me display the date. Let me display the date. Okay, so the syntax is cmd command. I need to specify a option within this. Okay, that the command need to be enclosed within the square brace, and the command need to be specified within this double quotes. So let I add this line. Okay, copy. So here we come out of this. Now we got connected with the container. You come out of this. Now what do we need to do? Under the image we have a Docker file. Let I open the Docker file. Vi Docker file. Okay. So move to the location where we need to insert. Okay, so let I specify from image a maintainer, okay, and the command. So let us save it. Escape :w. Now what I am going to do? So I am going to build another container based upon the image by using Docker run -it my image. Okay, so this is the current image. You just make a note. Docker run -it is the current image. Okay. Now I can build another container. So here let I build the image and run the container again. Okay. So how to build the image? You want to issue a Docker build command to build the image. Since we did a change, you want to issue this build command. Let I go for Docker build. Okay. -t. Okay, now the image is successfully built. Now we can find the 3 steps. First, step 1 is getting the busy box. Step 2 is specifying the maintainer name. Step 3, it executes a command. Okay, so now how? Let I connect with this image. Docker run -it Raman Sri Lanka. Now you can find it displays the command that we have specified in the image. Okay, the date command that we have specified in the image has been displayed. This is the way by which you can add anything as of you like. Yes, is it making sense what we are doing?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is very basic thing. We will discuss about this complex things. So once everything has been done, I will let you know with the live project that we are using, where we are one of the major projects associated. I will let you know how to club all these things into a single entity. Okay. So this is the
Okay.
way by which you can create a Docker file, and in the Docker file you specify the needed thing. Okay, so
Okay.
let me make use of how to use this entry point and the command. Okay, so let I use this following command. So instead of command date, I can make it as ls. Okay, for each and every activity you need to build. If you do a change, you need to build each and every activity. Docker images. Okay, so here you have the following image, Raman image. Okay, so let me create another. Let me open the Docker file and do the needed modification. Okay, so let I invoke a fourth command before this command. So here let I change the command so that it will be easy. ls. The command is ls. Okay. Once again, you build the image. Okay, so then you connect with this. Okay, now we can find ls command is activated. It lists where it is listed. So here for each and every build it create the image. Okay, here it will create an image for each and every build. Now we can find two none here. We don't specify an image tag. Okay, here we have specified a image, and for each and every build it create a separate images. Initially we have worked with creating a simple image. Now added a date and added a command. Since we are issuing Docker run -IT, so here it creates multiple images. Docker run is used to build another multiple images. Docker run is used to create a container from the image. Docker build is used to create an image. Okay. So here, if you want to use some additional thing, for example, entry point. Okay, so how to make use of this entry point? Let me discuss this. So this is very simple commands. I am letting you know how to make use of these commands. That's all. Let us specify a entry point. Okay. So what is the use of this entry point? It specifies where you want to work the particular command. Let I make it entry point. So here, let I display the etc password file. The etc password file by default will be under the following location. Okay, /bin. So small bin. The etc file will be under /bin. The command is cat. Okay, so this is the entry point. I need to move into this particular location, and I am going to execute the following command. The command is so cat etc under the file etc under password. Okay, /etc/password is my file. Okay, the entry point, what it specifies by means of entry point, we are instructing to move into a particular folder and execute the cat command, and the command specifies etc password as the argument to this entry point, and the entry point will move into this bin folder and issue the cat command cat etc etc password. Okay, so let me do this. Copy. Okay, va. Okay, so from busy box maintainer entry point command etc -password. Okay, is it correct? Yes. Escape : wq. So once again let I build an image, Docker build. So if you connect with this current image, it won't display anything. Since we made a change, you need to rebuild. Now you can find here the step 1 from the busy box, the maintainer, it move into this bin cat, and here the command is executed. Okay, so if it is successful, then only you receive a successfully built. So if you get stuck with anything intermediately, then it will be displayed here, not successful. Okay, so let I now connect with this Docker run -it image. Now you can find, once you connect this with this image, then what we have specified under we have specified to look into the etc password, the password file, by issuing a bin command. Okay, that thing is displayed. This is the way by which you can make use of a Docker file to build an image as software need. Is it clear? We will in tomorrow's session, let me discuss how to build a Java application, how to build a PHP applications by looking into multiple commands, and laterly how you can club, how you can real time, how you can build a this server, lamp server, how you can build a min stack, that thing by using a Docker compose, and how you can integrate. Our thing will be discussed on tomorrow's session. Okay, Muthiya, is it clear? Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So you want to leave by
Yeah.
2020, is it?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay, Muthiya. Thanks. I will upload today evening. Okay. I think so. I have
Okay.
shared
Okay.
you the video up to the previous class.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I will upload this today evening. Thank you. We will be
Okay.
having
Okay.
the session on 6:20 on tomorrow, 6:20 to 7:20.
Okay, sir.
Thanks a lot.